All right, let's talk about one of the most debated stocks out there right now, Cloudflare. Is this company the absolute backbone of our AI future, or is it just a classic case of hype getting way ahead of the fundamentals? Let's dig in.
First off, just look at this number. In a single year, the stock has shot up over 83%. Now that's the kind of performance that makes everybody, and I mean everybody, sit up and pay attention. And it's exactly why we need to figure out what's really going on here.
A surge like that really makes you wonder, right? What on earth is fueling this incredible run? Is it just a great story that investors have fallen in love with? Or is there some real, solid substance behind all this? We're going to break down both sides of the coin, starting with the good stuff.
So let's start with the basics, the core business itself. If you forget about all the AI buzz for just a minute, you'll see that the company's fundamental growth engine is absolutely firing on all cylinders.
So what does Cloudflare even do? Well, the simplest way to think about them is like the internet security guard and its traffic cop all rolled into one. Their massive network sits between a company's website and the rest of the world, making sure things are fast, blocking attacks, and just keeping everything running smoothly. It's basically the essential plumbing for the internet as we know it.
And when you look at the hard data from their latest quarter, wow, revenue jumped 34%, which is really strong. But check this out. The value of new contracts they signed grew by almost 50%. That's the fastest they've grown since 2021. And the value of contracts they have lined up to bill in the future is up 39%. These aren't just good numbers. They show that things are actually speeding up.
And this right here, this is a huge piece of their strategy. They're moving up market. The really big companies, the ones spending over $100 grand a year, now make up 69% of their revenue. That is so important because it means bigger, more stable contracts and customers that tend to stick around for the long haul.
But look, as impressive as those numbers are, that's only half the story. The real electricity, the thing that has investors so excited about this stock, it all comes down to one thing: artificial intelligence. Let's see how that fits into the puzzle.
The company's CEO, Matthew Prince, he really framed it perfectly. Think about it for a second. These new AI models and agents, they're not people, but they are using the internet constantly, sending and receiving huge amounts of data. All that new traffic needs a network that's incredibly fast and super secure. And his argument is, that network is Cloudflare.
And this isn't just a theory, it's not just a nice story. The proof is right there in the usage numbers. Their Workers platform lets developers run code on Cloudflare's network, and AI-related requests there are up an insane 4,000% year over year. 4,000! Requests through their AI gateway are up over 1,200%. This is real, tangible, explosive demand happening right now.
So you see how this all connects, right? It creates this incredible self-feeding loop. The more AI gets built, the more it needs a place to run, and that's Cloudflare Workers. And as all that AI activity creates more and more internet traffic, it drives even more demand for Cloudflare's core security and performance tools. It's a virtuous cycle, a flywheel that could just keep spinning and spinning for years.
Okay, so that's the bull case. And it is a compelling one. Strong business, massive AI tailwind. But now we have to talk about the other side of the story. And it's a big one. We have to talk about the price tag. This slide pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the bear case. Cloudflare trades at a price-to-sales ratio of almost 35. The average for the entire IT industry is just 1.8. That means investors are paying an enormous premium. They're pricing in not just a few good years, but maybe even a decade of absolutely perfect growth. And that sky-high price has Wall Street completely split. I mean, you've got some analysts saying the stock could soar another 40% to $300. And at the same time, you have others who think it could plunge more than 36% down to $135. That massive gap just shows you the central conflict here. Are you betting on a revolution, or are you looking at a bubble about to pop?
So how do you put all this together? It really is a classic dilemma for any investor. You have a game-changing story on one side and some very real, very tangible risks on the other. And let's be crystal clear about what those risks are. Number one is that valuation. At this price, there is just no room for error. Then there's the intense competition from giants like Zscaler and Palo Alto Networks. The company is also still working on becoming consistently profitable by standard accounting rules, which is a key hurdle for any growth company. And finally, while those big customers are a huge strength, it also means they're heavily reliant on keeping them happy. So we kind of end up right back where we started. There's really no doubt that Cloudflare is building something critical.
maybe even the foundational network for this whole new age of AI. The entire debate, the whole bull versus bear argument, it just boils down to one single really tough question that every investor has to answer for themselves. What is the right price to pay for that future, right here, today?